All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. What we're going to do is, first off, let me introduce myself. My name is Sean Cockrell. I'm one of the managing brokers here with eXp in Texas. And the reason why we say Texas for the newer ones that haven't heard about what we do, I help overlook the entire state of Texas. So it's not just here in the DFW area. I'm just housed here for at least now. I'll be uprooting myself, but I'll still be here in the DFW area. We have 11 of our managing brokers. We're bringing another one on soon. So if you have anyone that is a good broker that might be a good fit, tell them to come apply. And then, of course, we have our D&B, Karen Richards. Today we're going to go over ChatGPT and the basics of 101. So this class is going to be the bare minimum basics. It's for you to get comfortable with AI. We'll talk more about that here in a bit. But Christina is here. She's with America's Preferred Home Warranties, and she is our lunch sponsor. So I'll have her take it over.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Christina Pearson with America's Preferred Home Warranty. I am just now celebrating my 6th year. And this is the only home warranty company that I have ever been with. I came from title. And so I had 19 years in title. So with that being said, I just want you to know, I truly know and understand what agents deal with on a daily basis. So we are your title or home warranty company with eXp. So what does that mean for you? Well, that means there's been a lot of vetting going on with our corporate office and your corporate office, and we are your home warranty partner. Not only that, you get a really good partner with me. And we have a couple of things that I want to share with you that are brand new. So who is familiar with the RESPA compliant compensable fee? I know you three are. So the RESPA compliant compensable fee is every time you choose our warranty and it closes, then you as an agent, it used to be when you fill out a data collection form, you would receive $75 within 45 to 60 days from closing. Well, as a couple weeks ago, that has changed, and now we have a much easier way for you to receive that fee. It's still the same time frame, 45 to 60 days from the date of close, but prior to that, you would have to fill out a data collection form within RealPro, which is our site that communicates with SkySlope. Okay. And you would have to gather the name brands, the square footage, things like that, right? We don't have to do that anymore. We have developed videos, whether you are representing a seller or you are representing a buyer. Now you can just send the video to the buyer or the seller. You have to make sure when you order the warranty that an email address for that party that you are representing is inputted and it's on the order, right? So when you're going through RealPro, you're ordering it, you are putting that email address because it has to have an email address for us to send that video. That satisfies RESPA. So literally it's 3 clicks, right? So much easier and faster, and you are going to be receiving that $75. So that's the first thing. Secondly, who here works with builders? I'm not talking DR Horton or a national builder, but small, localized, regionalized builders. Does anybody?
I've done it before. So the builders that don't offer the home warranty, this is probably where she can chime in and give you some great information.
Yes. So we have a new company underneath our umbrella.
Oh, good. Okay.
So we have a new construction warranty, and Vanessa knows this a lot because I worked with her a lot in the beginning when I came on board. A lot of new builders. So we have a new construction warranty, which is $600 for 3 years. And the deductible is $75. We have a new company that is our company, and you're all familiar with 210, right? Mm-hmm. For the structural warranty. We now have our own structural warranty. So if you are currently working or looking to work for a small builder, and small can be 3 to 5 homes all the way up to 250 homes, it just has to fit specific criterion, right? Because the DR Hortons, they have their own structural warranty anyway. So that's why we're not a good fit. Let me know and I can connect you to the appropriate area sales manager. That would either be myself or Andrew, because we cover the DFW area. So with that being said, it will save that builder anywhere between 10 and 15% on the structural end, which right now with everything, that is a huge plus for them. Warranty side, write us in. The magic number is $698 to $700. That's going to get them the standard coverage with the upgrade. Choose your own license contractor. We are the original choose your own license contractor. And then we all cover toilets and things like that. I'm not all about talking about that stuff. I'm all about educating the agents. So warranties have terms and conditions, just like your car insurance, health insurance, and homeowners insurance. So do home warranty companies. So if we come back and say something isn't covered, you just have to note that it's not covered within the warranty, right? If your homeowners are upset for any reason because they were not getting as much as what they thought, give Andrew and I a call, depending on your area sales manager, and then possibly we can work through that. If there's any wiggle room, then we will wiggle that room for you. Okay. Any questions? I know you have a class.
Yeah, I want to piggyback on that really quick though.
Yep.
So I come from new construction background. So of course we had our own in-house warranty companies. However, rule of thumb is if you're doing a new construction home with a builder that's a small, just private builder, and you're using the Trek promulgated form, chances are they don't have an in-house home warranty company, right? Mm-hmm. I used to use 210. I use 210 all the time. That's the only company I really knew to use or know to use to send them off to that because they did the 210. Are you familiar with the 210? The 210. It's the 1 year. I call it bumper to bumper warranty. Mm-hmm. It's the 2 year behind the walls, and it's the 10-year structure. So that was the only company I knew of. So for them to do this, it's huge. So just keep that in mind. It's going to be huge. And the easiest thing to do on the Trek promulgated form is say, hey, seller, are you going to offer a home warranty? And they're going to say, no, but we can give you a concession towards it. Great. Put it into the contract and then order this for your buyer and you'll be good to go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to turn this off. And...
Sounds good. Well, thank you so much. I think we're good now. Yep, we're good now. Good deal. Well, I'm excited about today. So my agenda last year was to figure out what I can do to get something to, because we're seeing classes like this everywhere, right? I mean, you could pull up a Google search on AI classes. It can be overwhelming, right? It can definitely be overwhelming. You're trying to figure out which one you want to learn. If I was to give you just a list of AI generated tools, there's over 1,000 of them. And if I give you a list of AI generated tools that are real estate based, there's over 300 or 400 of them. Which ones do we want that fit us? Well, I can tell you right now, ChatGPT is going to be your basis, and then you can build it from there. The thing with ChatGPT is, like I said, last year I wanted to create something that I can roll out to agents so you don't have to go spend that $1,000 on that course. Nothing against those instructors. Don't get me wrong. They have a valid point. I've actually gone and spent money on these courses myself. I'm the type of person, and my mentality is, if they're doing it, why can't I do it, right? And so I went out and did some digging, tried my best to break ChatGPT, which I think I did because I was trying to put together the broker schedule for all of us, and it spit back something saying, hey, we can't do this right now, kind of. But I will recommend that you spend the 15, I have to check again. I just have it come out of my account. It might be a little bit more. Spend the money for the 4.0. It's worth it. You get a faster feedback. It's it's inexpensive. They do have another tool. I think it's the $400 a month, but it's something that's incredible that I've been told you don't need it, but do your research. $15 a month is what you're going to get for the 4.0. Now, the basics of this course is how you're going to be talking to it, right? So the course benefits is by the end of this course, you're going to know how to automate repetitive tasks and save hours of work each week. Who wants to do that? How many hours do you think you spend a week just in listing property descriptions? I'm not good with my words. I don't have fluff. I'm very straightforward. I don't know if that's the military, but I do not have fluff. I'm like, come buy this home. It looks great. It'll fit your family, right? And so at the end of the day, you have to keep in mind, people read with their eyes and they want to see what a house looks like with just the verbiage. You want to be able to sell the house with what you're telling them. Look at the pictures. Pictures don't do anything justice. When you can actually talk to your consumer and they can read through it, it's great. And I use it on my listings. I mean, I don't do a lot of business, but I've used ChatGPT now for the last year and a half on my listings. and it works really well because it uses words that I would use, but it puts it together in a way that I never thought it would actually work, right? We're going to talk more about how you can train it to be more like you. AI is going to be crazy, and we'll dive into a little bit of it. But you can craft compelling property listings and marketing materials. You can also enhance client engagement with personalized AI-assisted communication. AI-assisted communication is going to be a game changer for all of you. You can utilize this to leverage virtual assistants. Think about that. You can utilize ChatGPT for follow-ups, transcript management. So I help handle the TREC complaints. So if you guys get TREC complaints, you're probably going to talk to me or someone else. I hope none of you get those, but it does happen. We utilize ChatGPT to help come up with the professional response in regards to what's happening in the email. Now we'll talk more about it because I still have to craft it. I'm just using it to pick its brain, right? So you want to adopt best practices to maximize the accuracy and reliability of ChatGPT in your daily operations. This is key. So today, what is ChatGPT? Can anyone tell me what is ChatGPT to them? It's confusing, yeah. It's a tool that assists with anything from, what do I want to cook tonight for dinner? Take a picture of what's in your fridge, upload the picture. Say, what's in my picture? Guess what? It will tell you what's in the picture and it will give you a recipe. Isn't that crazy? I have conversations with my chat. I literally talk to my chat and I tell it thank you. I tell it please. And it responds as if I'm talking to a human being. And so you want to increase your productivity and streamline communication, this is what you're going to do, right? You want to do client-facing tasks and repetitive writing, get it done with, boom, this is what you're going to use. I go in and I'm thinking of business ideas. And I always go in there and I say, this is what I've done. This is what I'm doing. This is what I want to do. Give me a business script on what I can do for it. How am I going to make $100,000 in this? And it will break down dollar by dollar, penny by penny on how you need to do it. And it will give you a day-to-day breakdown on what you're doing. So it can be used in many different ways in real estate. So just be aware of that. Now, leveraging AI to stream your business. So I've got some talking points that I want to talk about because I want to make sure I don't miss any of this. So keep in mind that ChatGPT is going to be a tool for you to use. It's not going to replace you, right? You have to keep in mind that it increases engagement, but it also requires the brains behind it to make sure that it's being accurate. You have to understand what you're doing in your business to be able to leverage AI and streamline it. If you don't understand what you're doing in your business, you're not going to be able to tell it what to do. It still requires brains behind it. But I will tell you this now, and I'll tell you this when I end this class. AI isn't going to replace the agent. But what I will tell you is the agent that is using AI will replace you. So just keep that in mind. If you don't want to leverage AI, might be best to find something that doesn't require AI in your business. But that's the same thing that I learned 12, 13 years ago in the business. Back when the books were out and I was learning all that and I said, I don't need that. There's this thing called the internet. And everyone's like, what? I said, I'm going to find everything I need on the internet. You ain't going to go far. I'll make note of that. Well, now we're talking to the brokers that do not want to leverage even just internet and CRMs and all the technology. Well, they checked out. So it's thank you for your service. We appreciate you. Now it's time to move on and introduce the people that want to use the technology, right? And so, so just keep in mind that it allows you to focus on more high value work. Do any of you give yourself $1, an hourly rate on what you charge per hour? You should. So if you look at a list of tasks and you break it down, you say, okay, what would I charge? So my hourly rate, I charge this, period. If this is something that would be a lesser hourly rate, do you think something else can streamline that process? That's where virtual assistants came into play, right? So virtual assistants have removed a lot of that. Well, now you can do it with the tool of ChatGPT and AI. I got a question for y'all. So any AI tools out there that you've used? Any of you used any AI tools? And if so, which ones? Otter's a great one. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep, Gemini. So Gemini, a lot of people, there's Brittany Stewart's one of our team leads out here in North Texas, and she preaches about Gemini. and it's great for marketing with real estate. And I just started dabbling with it. Actually, I revamped my notes that are here and used Gemini, and I was like, oh wow, that's kind of cool. What else? Yep. Yeah. hmm Yeah. Yep. Complexity. Yep. So there's going to be other ones too, and I really only use a handful of them, but I'm playing with a ton of them because I'm trying to create more classes like this to give to all of you. That's my goal. So I go down a rabbit hole of AI. You can really go down a rabbit hole, and I had to reach out to our director, and I said I got to stop. And he's like, don't go any further. He's all, you won't stop. So yeah.
There's so many out there. How do you pick the right one for you?
You dabble with them because a lot of them have free versions, and you figure out what the best one is. Because the classes, the people that tell you which one the best ones are, you pay for it. But it might not be what's best for you. It might be what's best for someone else. There's a lot of AI tools out there that are good for people that do video, that do in-person video, which I need to do it myself. I'll tell you that. I'll be honest with you. It's hard for me to get in front of people, except for doing this. I can talk all day, but getting on the camera and looking at myself in the camera, we question that, right? And so I need to get out of that comfort zone because I feel like there's a lot of information that I can provide to people that want to learn that, but we're afraid of people telling us that we're wrong, right? We're afraid of people bashing us. We're afraid of people are mean. I'm having to tell my 10-year-old that. People are mean, but you have to get out of that comfort zone because guess what? That one person that bashes you, you have 10 people that need you. And so all it does is just build you up, builds confidence. And that's what I tell my baseball kids. Hey, you didn't do good right now, but you did good yesterday and you're going to do good tomorrow. So it just motivates you. It'll just keep you going. Let's jump into the next slide. Any questions so far? So real estate, reasons to use ChatGPT in real estate, right? Now, this is going to present how ChatGPT can empower agents to boost productivity, enhance client communication and responsiveness. We're going to assist with organization and task management and provide a competitive edge with technology. Technology, like I said, ChatGPT, once you get in there, and we're going to dive into the nuts and bolts in this here in a couple of slides. And then I also got a gift for y'all at the end. I have all of your email addresses from signing up with Eventbrite. I'm going to email you a prompt list that I've created. So I've taken that off of your plate. There's going to be a lot of them in there. It talks about, I think there's 5 different segments. It's a Google spreadsheet I'll provide you. Copy and paste in there, and it'll create all your stuff in ChatGPT. So how can ChatGPT help? Well, ChatGPT can handle the routine emails and listings. I've taken an email and I've plugged it in there and I said, give me a summary. What does it do? It spits out a summary and I can shorten it. I can enlarge it. And my notes that I'm reading off of here, because I had a handful of them, I was going through my slide deck and I'm like, man, I really need to shrink this down. I need to make it my own. That's when I used Gemini and I messed with it, clicked on it, shortened it, and it gave me a shortened version of it. So it can also create compelling property listings, assisting with organization and task management through task lists, priorities, and reminders. How many of y'all do open houses? How do you think this could possibly help? You think if you have a sheet where you've written names down, or you have an iPad because it's all electronic now, and they've put their stuff on a form, and you get that form sent back and you upload it, do you think it's going to provide a follow-up email to those guests that attended your open house? Oh, yeah. Yeah. So it can provide all of that. So you give them a list, you provide the emails, and you say, I've had an open house at 123 Main Street. I want to send a follow-up email to thank them and to ask if I can assist with anything else. Boom, within seconds, you get the follow-up email, you copy it, you send it to your email, and it's all done. Just make sure you proofread it, because if you don't proofread it, make sure it's your verbiage too. We'll talk more about how you can make it sound like you. And those are the prompts. So now you want to be that agent that's providing the compelling technology to your client. Buyers in today's market are 85% more likely to use technology than anyone that has been in the market 15 years previously. 92% of buyers out there have touched the internet before they talk to their agent. You think if they come to you and they start talking to you about technology, do you think you need to know just enough to get you through? It doesn't need to have to be a full-blown conversation, but our job as real estate professionals is to have a better understanding of what our client is doing and what their mind is thinking, right? And I can tell you technology, I have fun conversations with it because I've talked to some young kids that are in their early 30s. And I asked them about technology and they said, I live by it. I said, that's what I do. I said, well, what is it you do for a living? Well, I do technology. Great, let's sit down and have a talk. Teach me something. And so with it to be involved with real estate, I hear the rumors AI is going to replace real estate professionals. I'll tell you it's not. I don't know of that many people that want to spend their biggest expense in their entire life and not talk to a human being, right? However, but you can wow them by showing them how technology diverse you are and show them I can provide you all of these reports and I get it through this system. I can provide you everything that you need and it's through the system. Our listing presentations, our buyers presentations, all on Canva, all uploaded for all of you to use. It's all technology based, right? So just keep in mind of that. Listing descriptions and marketing. Now we're going to start to dive into it a little bit. So the biggest thing here is that, let's see where we're at. So it can help with the property description. So I'm going to give you one example. We're going to start diving into it. For this is for families, right? So write a listing for a 3-bedroom home with the backyard. How do you think that's going to do if you were to put that in there? Write a listing for a 3-bedroom home with the backyard. Is that kind of basic? Think you need a little bit more? Yeah, so this is where you can test it, play with it. So if you were to talk to a little bit more further in depth, it's going to give you a little bit more background on it. So just keep in mind that it can go off your tones as well. You can tell it to do a specific target audience. You can tell it be friendly, be funny, be professional, and it's going to give you a different answer for all of them. And then once you start talking to it, I've been talking to it now for a little over a year, and I'm now inputting things, and it says, well, since you do this, and this is what you do as a managing broker, or you're doing this, or it remembers everything I've told it for the last year and a half. And it will come back and tell me, well, this is what you've told me that you're doing. And I've even had, and I'm going to be candid, I've even had some personal conversations with it, as in like opening up myself, saying, I need this, or this is what I'm having a problem with. And it will tell you, you know what, this is what's going on. This is how you need to address it. And it's good. And it even tells you this is good that you're actually talking about this. So it could be your own therapist. And it's great because it makes you really reflect, right? I've got a 5-year-old and a 10-year-old, and I'm lucky I don't have gray hair except for right here. And so, I've dove into the ChatGPT, and I've really have fallen in love with AI because it's been friendly to me. But in the same token, you have to make sure that you're leveraging it for the correct things, right? So, but you can use it to save time. It would take me hours. I used to have my TC do it. I was like, give me a property description. I can't do this. I said, I'm trying to fill up all the words. I said, I can't. I go into chat. I say, I'm allowed this many words. I want you to do this. This is where the house is at. This is the color of it. This is what it's got. I'm very specific, and man, it will spit out a poem for me if I wanted it to. And it saves me, I can have it done in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Who wouldn't want to save 2 hours of time? 10 minutes, that's unreal. And I'm like, okay, what do I got to do next? Like you can do so much with time saving on these tools. Marketing made easier. So social media posting. Guess what? I've started creating content on my social media platforms, and guess where it comes from? ChatGPT. All of my content, if you go on there, I don't have a lot of followers. I'm not that special. But when you go in there, if you start to look at my captions, I thought of it and how I told it what I needed, but it provides the hashtags. It provides the trending hashtags. It provides you the short. I will upload it and say, I've got my kid's 10th birthday, a big year for him. He plays baseball. He does this. And I give it everything I need. And I know it probably give it more words than the words I'm looking for it to spit out, but it will give out everything that I want in words that I couldn't express. And then I tweak it to where it's my voice. And so it includes the trending hashtags, and it works. It does great. And I've even say, give me the top trending songs, and it will pull it up. So captions, hashtags, email marketing campaigns. Who uses their drip campaigns in KB Core? Who wants to take time to actually have someone create it for you, and you don't need to do it? Because I know that I struggled with the campaigns that were provided by KB Core. They are really hard. They're intense. It's something that you can't really pay attention to. There's people out there that charge thousands of dollars to take their course. I get it. I've almost wanted to pay for it. We've had some of our managing brokers pay for it, and they say it's great. But I'm that person. What did I tell you before? If they can do it, why can't I do it? Right? So personal branding. I created my logo with ChatGPT. I have my own real estate company of one, Sean Cockrell Realty Group. It's just me under eXp. But I created my logo through AI. It'll create your branding name. It'll create your slogan. It'll be creative on what you need. So why not use it? Now, you can spend hours and hours and hours doing this. That's why at the end of this, it'll probably be later today when I get back to the office. I'll send you the prompts. You have to be specific. And this is where we're going to dive into this right now, is about being specific with ChatGPT. So we've got, let's see where we're at. Okay, we're on 9. So it can improve real estate agents' communication through follow-up emails, introduction, new leads. You can introduce yourself to new leads when you get them. Guess what? So what I've been doing behind the scenes, I've kind of taken a break from it. I've created a bot for my social media. Who's heard of creating bots? When you go in and you think you're talking to someone, but you're actually talking to a bot. I said it to myself. Why can't I do it? Someone else can do it. Why can't I do it? Oh, I know why someone else does it. So it's not easy. It's not easy. It looks like it's a whole. It looks like a science project. You have pieces that are all pieced out, and you're trying to put them together, and it's a puzzle. I've made mine, and it didn't talk correctly to someone that tried it, and so you got to be careful. But the basics of this course is for you to get comfortable with it, because if you can't get comfortable with it, you're going to be left in the dirt, left in the dust. See you later. People are going to be watching you from the rearview mirror. You don't want to be a part of that. Now, quick responses to inquiries. We had a competition within our eXp employees, and one of my dear friends, coworkers, is Tally. She's done great things with us. We can go in and we create our own chat GPTs. Have you heard of that? So I've gone in and I created one for our brokers, and she created one also, but I created one with our PMP. I uploaded our PMP to it, created a chat, and I could pull it real quickly instead of scrolling through all 120 pages. I'll ask it, the document I uploaded, I need this and this. Please provide it to me. It'll spit it back out to me. So use it, leverage it, take advantage of it. Now, the tips, you have to be specific. What do you think I mean by be specific when you're asking it for a prompt? Who knows what prompt means? Yeah, so prompt means you're prompting it to tell you to do something. The ongoing comments right now is, you want to be a prompt engineer? Because everyone knows that engineer make a lot of money, right? Engineers, if you have that word, you're doing great. So be a prompt engineer, because you've engineered the words to prompt something for you. All it is simple. You're prompting the system to tell you what you want it to feed back to you. And that's the examples I'll send all of you, is that I've sent you prompts, and they're short phrases on what you can input for it to spit back out. So when we're talking about being specific, for example, write a follow-up email to a client who attended an open house at 123 Maple Street, right? Be a little bit specific, because you don't want to say write a follow-up email from the open house. So it'll write you the follow-up with the address, and then you can even give it tasks or action items for it to include in there for them to reach back out to you. All done within seconds. Yep. Well, we know that in our business, right? Just in sales alone, if you don't have a call to action, you're working for free. And I don't know of any of you that want to work for free, and so I don't. Tell me about another one. If there's anything that's been put on the internet and you're curious about the property, you can ask it to tell me about this property's features. It'll pull everything that's been uploaded in the internet about that property, and we'll give you the features. I found $1 million home in Austin that I was like, oh, this is nice, off of Lake Travis. Put it into chat, and it spit out everything in the history of that property, when it was built, who the builder was. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to mess with. Any questions so far? So the last one was, if you want to know something about a property's features, just tell me about the property's features, and then put in the address. Here's a question before we move on. How do you currently personalize your client communication, and where do you think AI could help? How do you prioritize your client communication, and where do you think AI could help?
Well, I use it to create emails, and then I make them templates. So then
Bingo.
it's just boom, boom,
Mm-hmm.
figuring out, whether it's an introduction or a follow-up, here are the next steps, whatever. But I just started creating
Yep. I have a laundry list of templates in mine, and I use them all the time, and so it's helpful. You can always create the templates and just revamp them to make them sound like you. There's nothing wrong with that. You're just saving yourself time. And so I'll be honest with you, all of you are going to get that email, and you're going to be BCC'd on it, and it's going to be the same one. It's just going to have your name, and you can do that in your templates, right? But you all know that we've already talked, and I've introduced myself, so that email feels personal because we've already talked. You can personalize it in chat, so why not take advantage of it? Well, that's the whole thing. So AI can help in many different ways. Prioritizing your client communication is huge. If you look at my calendar, you'd probably think I'm crazy, but I have everything in there from my hair appointments to get my hair cut, to take my kids. I've got this coaching thing I've got to do for baseball coming up. Like everything's in there to the T of drop the dog off at the vet, drop him off at the kennel. That's, if it's not in there, it's not going to get done. Well, you can use ChatGPT to prioritize everything at that nature as well. So just keep that in mind. Let's see. So we'll go into the next one. Boost productivity with admin tasks. ChatGPT can assist with everyday tasks such as daily schedules, to-do list, and one example would be to create a follow-up checklist for steps to take after an open house, like we just talked about, right? Generate structured daily plans and prioritize tasks. Automate reminders for client follow-ups, showings, and deadlines. I've had that in mind. We have a call system that we have to use for our brokers to make calls to all of you just to touch base with you, and I've utilized it to put it on my calendar. I'm using things to upload images and telling it to give me detailed image or information about the image that I've uploaded. And is there something, or I'm looking for something in this image, is it there? It can tell you if it's there or not. So, but the to-do list is like, it'll generate update action labels. It'll generate all those. It'll generate tables. I've copied and pasted the tables that have been great. It'll give me a breakdown on my social media content that I need to schedule. It'll say, here's your days, here's your times, how often do you want to do it? I'll send you a reminder through whatever app you want to use. But now there's a requirement to link all of those tools, and that takes an additional step, but at least start somewhere. If you don't start somewhere, you're not going to get anywhere. And it can customize your checklist. Any questions so far? We've got just a few more, and we'll wrap up here in probably in about 20, 30 minutes. Depends on if I can not talk that long. So, writing effective prompts. This is the key right here. The importance of being specific in your prompts, it gets better results. If you have a short prompt, it's not going to give you anything. If you have, hey, write a 150-word listing description for a luxury condo in Austin with a pool and a rooftop access. Guess what? It's going to write out something pretty spectacular.
You don't put the address on the property?
You don't have to, because the address will be in the MLS. So it's just something that you don't have to do because it's just going to be redundant. You could if you wanted to, if you were doing it. In the prompt, no, you don't. You don't have to. You could if you wanted to get more specifics, if it has like the history of the property like we talked about, you can. This is where all the fun happens, right? This is where all the fun begins, where you can start to see if the prompt's something. You go back into chat, you hit the edit button, change a couple of the words, it'll refresh it and do something completely different for you. But keep in mind though, what we're gonna talk about a little bit is that you have to be smarter than the tool. Even though you're gonna use the tool can probably still provide information that's not accurate. And it's done that before. I was curious on something if it could give me some information that I already knew the answer to, and it was old information. It was outdated. And so just be very careful. But you got to be specific on this. And if you don't like the response, twist your words up a little bit. Change it up a little bit on how you're talking to it. You can say, write a 150-word listing description in a funny sense of humor on a luxury property. And it comes out pretty hilarious. So for the people that have a personality, we all see those. The ghetto realtor, right? That's with eXp. Have you seen that? I know you guys have seen that on social media. He dresses up like a gangster in his listings, and he has got tons of followers. But that's what he does and he has utilized this. And if you use that, it's going to give you personality. It's going to do stuff that's different. So you have to think outside the box. Why are you going to be different from the person next to you, right? Now, limitations. This is going to remind you that it's still AI. It's still AI, and it's not going to be perfect. So ChatGPT is not perfect and may provide incorrect or outdated information, so just be aware of that. Does not express or understand emotion. So you have to actually talk to it in further action. It doesn't. It's kind of like that text message in caps, right? Oh, it's all in caps. You must be mad. That's how it thinks. So when you input the information, you have to keep in mind You have to understand what you're talking about, and you might have to edit the information that's in there. Don't just go ahead and put it in there, copy and paste it, and post it. Because guess what? You will be called out, and someone will find out that you're not telling the truth. And don't be afraid to let people know. So as you see in social media, they say AI image generated now. So you let people know that. It's okay to say that you utilize ChatGPT to help it. But it's just like back in the day when you would source something, when you would write an essay, right? If you twisted it up enough, you didn't have to source anything. So it's giving you information to help build your own information platform. So don't just leverage it, copy it, paste it. Make it your own. But yeah, be careful because it does not understand emotion or at all. So it can definitely get the best of you. Now, best practices, what I would talk about is always review and edit ChatGPT's output. Client confidentiality, we're going to talk a little bit about that, and practice regularly. Who would think client confidentiality is important? Yeah, especially in the industry that we're in, right? So the biggest thing here is that you can put in prompts on your client confidentiality. So the example one I have here is what client information should be kept confidential. Keep in mind, you still are in an industry where you have to hold the confidentiality of your consumer. If you express too much information and they didn't allow you to do that, I'll get a call and they'll tell me real quickly on what's happened, and it's not going to end well. So how can I personalize AI responses? So you can still dive into it deeper and ask it questions about what it does. So if you're curious on how it's going to treat you and what it's going to do, ask it questions. Be very specific. But using AI, you got to be responsible. Maintains professionalism and trust in the client relationships. So even though you can put in a lot of information, just be careful with the client confidentiality. That's key importance here. Now, real life applications like we talked about, listing descriptions, social media campaigns, email templates. You can create the property descriptions. The social media campaigns is going to be huge. Like I said, this is the basics 101. So this is kind of just the key components to get a foundation of ChatGPT, and I hope to come out with something more advanced. But that's going to be something that is a little bit step further. But with this, I just want you to be able to get comfortable with chat, play with it, have fun, and see what it can do for you, and then see how you can leverage that in your business. So practice makes perfect. I needed to change that up. There's a different phrase that I like to use now that I've been using with my kids, and I'm trying to think about it. Like I always say, think of a goldfish 15-second memory. That came from a movie or a show that I like to watch. But you've got to toy with it. You've got to practice with it. If you just let it sit there, it's already done things since I haven't played with it in a couple of days. And apparently there was an update to it that does some crazy things now with it. I didn't know that. But you have to be in there at least one to two times a week, messing with it, toying with it, playing with it. Share your experiences with your colleagues and get tips from your peers. See what they think about it. I send stuff to my buddy all the time and I'm like, what do you think about this? Because he's an AI guy, he's a tech guy. And he's like, it's cool, but add this one word in there. I'm like, what? And I'll play with it. I was like, whoa, it totally changed up the whole entire thing. And so just play with it, mess around with it. And then that's it. So what we'll do is I will send you out an email. I have all your client contact information. I'll send you out an email with the prompts. You guys can toy with that. But that's it. Any questions? That's the basics of chat.
Do we have a hint earlier of how many people have ChatGPT on their phone?
It's on my home screen. Like literally for everything.
Yeah, so we have to start with the basics. So if you don't know what it is, on your app, on your phone or Android, you can download that. There is a free version. Of course, he mentioned pay for the the monthly one.
Yeah, if you're just toying with it, try the free one first. All of them have the free version. Try it. Give it a shot. And then if you're comfortable with it, pay for the upgraded one.
And then languages, it does do language. So if you have it in Chinese and you wanted to do it in English afterwards, do that. So there's no excuse on like not having that on your phone now as a business owner. We're all real estate professionals. We're all owners of this company, and want to thank Sean for sharing that. But
yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm excited about this, and all of you should be too. It's gonna be fun. But there's things in there too that you can create. You can create your own project. So if you've got something that you're working on over and over, create a project and it sits at the top. So you don't have to go through your whole entire list. It'll sit right there at the top. You can go back in there and dive in. And on a side note with this, we're looking for speakers, upcoming events, meetings, and trainings. If you want to scan this, Robert, I know you probably want to do this as well. Yeah. And so If anyone likes to speak about stuff or has gone out and spoken in front of agents, has trained before, anything like that, or if you know of anyone that's within eXp that does this, we're looking for people to be a part of our state meetings. We're looking for people to stand out and just kind of help support our agents. So if you want to be a speaker with eXp, we're looking for people to fill out the application and kind of come our way. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so my name is Daniel Lang, one of the leaders here in this building, and we own this property, and I have a team here in eXp as well, so we're all part of the family. I know Tony King and the other leaders are doing a lot of in real life events. They're using the Metrotex building for classes, so make sure you check that out. So it's not everything's on the cloud, not everything's on Zoom. We are live streaming this today, so if you want to rewatch what you have, it's on YouTube, so find that as well. I posted on Workplace while he was speaking, so I was doing all that while we're doing, and there's a lot of information on eXp. You can get overwhelmed, but you were sponsored into the company, and make sure you go back to your sponsor to make sure to learn. You have 7 people that brought you in, right? Leverage that. And the thing is, we're all together. eXp announced co-sponsorship, so I'm going to kind of share that a little bit, just a little dab on what co-sponsor means. I created this little chart. So this is not a corporate slide. This is a slide that I created just to give a better picture. And so what does that mean? Basically, you of course, everyone knows that you can grow a revenue share organization, what we call a downline or a tier of group of people. But if you're the primary sponsor and you have a friend named John, and say John is in New York, we're not licensed there. I have no idea how that market works, but people get recruited, right? And it's hard to support in that market. But if John's a leader, he doesn't need support because he's a broker. He knows how to run a team. That's fine. But maybe he's just a new agent and retention and just getting that resources and it's hard. So now we have co-sponsoring. You can find a leader in New York, eXp, doesn't have to be in your organization, they're not in your upline. And now you can have a co-sponsor to sponsor John now. And basically you get John as your tier 2. John will be tier 1 to the co-sponsor, and you get the downline growth. So not just this one co-sponsor, you can have 100 co-sponsors supporting your organization now. This is the power of eXp that they just announced this. May 1st is when they turn it on. I'm already working on 6 co-sponsors around the country, and you can do this globally too. So how could I go into Mexico? I don't know. I can't speak Spanish. I can find a leader in eXp Mexico to support my future team. I have a team in Peru now growing. I got a team working on Dominican Republic. Everyone can do this. So just because if you're new in the business doesn't mean you can't grow. Everyone should be able to grow in this. Ask ChatGPT. I was asking ChatGPT on what it would look like if I had 1,000 agents in the organization, right? And I asked that and I put it on my phone and it just kind of gave me a breakdown. So I created a little chart. You guys should understand where the math goes, right? 50% of the revenue of the 20% goes to revenue share pool and it's paid out. And you're welcome to take a picture of this. This is if everyone is, capping. This math works, and there's different ways to do it. If you want to do there's a Brian Carruthers, I think he does the 5 by 5. So if you brought in 5 people, those 5 people brought in 5 more people, brought in 5 more people, you just do the math and you just plug this in ChatGPT. It'll show you your kind of like the goal of the wealth chart. So this math works. I do investments. My office is available for all the eXp agents because we're all owners of the company. We just did a crawfish event last week for eXp North Texas. So if you missed it, we're going to have another one probably in 2 weeks. I'm looking for more sponsors because you guys ate all the food. I mean, I did like 10 big ribeyes. And then all the crawfish, 180 pounds of crawfish was all gone. Yeah. So, but at the same time we're all in it together. If you want to if you're an event person, you like to cook, you want to grill, we need all the talent. We own this company together. It's not about what eXp provides to us. It's what we can do together. So that's why, Sean contacted me a couple of weeks ago. Like, hey, can I use our office space? Perfect. It's here. It's real estate. If we didn't have a class here, it's just empty real estate not being used. That's why we're in the cloud, because of the resources to save money. But at the same time, we are humans. We need that interaction, and we're going to be doing this more often. If you want to do something or teach a class, let us know. Welcome to use the space, any space that we have. And I have an office in Hearst. I'm going to rebuild to do more kind of like a classroom style stuff. So welcome to use that too. So thank you.
Yeah, and the biggest thing about the